What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Fannounce Table edition of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. I'm your host of the panel, Tony Mango, and joining me on the mic for this episode are the usual suspects, Robert DeFelice.
We're in your house, Tony.
You are? Shit. Well, how come the sound isn't echoing weird?
Because coronavirus.
Callum Wiggins, are you also in my house? Are you the one calling on the
No,
line?
social distancing, Tony. I can't even fit in your house with like Barry sitting there in the corner.
Ah, man, that elephant in the room taking up so much space.
Speaking of elephants, Mabel's in this card.
Yeah, what we're doing here, if you haven't been able to figure it out already by the title and all the other kind of things that go along with this, description is we are watching the first ever In Your House event. A couple weeks ago, we had the 25th anniversary of the show. May 14th, 2020 was the 25th anniversary. So they went ahead and they announced that NXT TakeOver In Your House is coming up next week. We're going to do our predictions for that show when the time comes around, a week from now, and we start getting into the preview for that show. But we figured, you know what? To kind of get ourselves a little bit in the In Your House mood and to just do something that we would really never get another chance to do without it seeming strange, go back and look at this. Rob and I have a little bit more of a fondness for this sort of era than Callum does. Callum's not really looking forward to this card. I haven't looked at the card yet, so I'm not even sure what it is. I know it's Diesel and Sid, and I don't know what else is on the card. Hopefully that's a good thing, and like, whoa, surprise, and not like, oh god, no, like
box of chocolates, Tony.
It might be all over the place. I don't know, but what we're going to do here is the same stuff that we normally do. If you're unfamiliar with the Fannounce Table, this is how it works. We're going to be watching that on the WWE Network, so that's the best way for you to make sure that you've got the same side of setup that we do. We can't provide you the video in this YouTube space because that's a copyright infringement, but we can tell you when we get started, and then you can sync up your time code with us, and then watch along and, listen to us BS and kind of, shoot the shit and whatever else we end up doing. Thankfully, this time around, since we're starting at the beginning of this, we don't even have a time code that's specific that you have to get into. It's not like 1 hour and 40 minutes and whatever seconds. It's just all zeros, just the very beginning. It's going to start off with the World Wrestling Federation, what the world is watching, or whichever one they end up doing at this point. And I think it might be like the over 50 years, the Revolutionary Sports Force in Sports Entertainment. It might be that one.
That is correct.
Okay, good. It's around this hour, so I figured it might be. So yeah, that's how it's going to go. Again, I will tell you 3, 2, 1, play, and then you hit the play button on either your internet version of the network or the app or, whatever it is. Maybe you even have like a YouTube stream or you have like the DVD of it or something like that. So it might not necessarily work 100%, but more than likely you're listening to this on a network as well. I recommend that you lower the volume of the actual event so you could hear us a little bit better. But if you want to put one in one ear, one in the other ear, whatever, it's up to you. So we will get down with that and kind of do our usual stuff. So make sure that you've got everything ready and that you are prepared. You're at all of the zeros right now because we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, play. For over 50 years, the revolutionaries. Yeah, okay. I always liked this, but it felt ominous. That background stuff.
Yeah, it is pretty ominous. It's 1995 WWF. It's like, are you sure you want to watch this? I'm surprised that sort of like disclaimer warning isn't coming up on the screen. That's like, are you sure you want to watch this? Are you sure? It's got Sid in the main event. Are you sure you're going to watch this?
Yeah, it's got Mabel and Mo. What?
Big Daddy Cool is in your face, where the big boys play.
Look at the adjective house.
Oh my god! The second, the second biggest match on this card they're promoting is Owen Hart and Yokozuna against the Smoking Guns. Billy Gunn with that mustache.
Oh, there's Razor. That's good. Oh, I like the Razor and Jeff Jarrett feud. That was good.
This is supposed to be Razor and the Kid against Road Dogg and Jarrett, but Kid gets injured because he's Xbox Kid. He gets injured.
Oh my god.
Atom Bomb. Wow.
Against Mabel.
Eh,
Ugh. Hey, Bret Hart. At least we'll have some good wrestling on this guy.
Is he fighting Backlund? Oh no, Hakushi.
I always wanted to watch more of Hakushi stuff. It always strikes me as like he's one of the litany of WWE wrestlers from Japan that just got gimmicked so badly to high heaven, despite the fact that he was just a good worker.
I forgot about this house giveaway.
Oh yeah, they used to give the house away, didn't they? That's what they did for the first one.
Fun fact: my family tried to enter this. They lost, but they tried.
This was that
So-
song I was trying to think of before.
The Vince
Remember, I
McMahon
kept saying,
commentary.
like, isn't there one that just keeps saying "In Your House"? That's the song.
No, they have a few different In Your House songs.
Every time I brought it up, it was like the only one I could find out was the one that
Oh
was,
my
Was the
Doc
lumberjack one?
Hendricks.
Doc Hendricks.
Was the
Look
one
at
that's
it.
like "We're in your house" or something like that. But this was that like, huh? Oh, it's Mother's Day Sunday. They're gonna refer to it as that. It's in your mom's house.
Why is his name Doc like that? Of all things, like it's like that name
Doc
wasn't bad
Mines,
enough.
I believe.
Yeah, it's just
Right?
like its name's not already that bad enough. In Your House is In Your Face. The one Kevin Nash fan in the audience.
Who's this?
It's Hakushi.
That's not like Hakushi's behind him, but who is this dude? I don't remember this guy.
That
He's
racist
Shinja.
he's putting on white face.
Shinja?
Yeah, he doesn't last very long.
I do remember loving Hakushi's theme and thinking that was really cool.
Doesn't Bret, for all of these, come through the front door of the house?
I don't remember that detail at all.
I'm sure we'll find out soon.
All I remember is Sean dancing on the top.
Well, it's JR when he was just a
Play-by-play.
when he was
Just
an
the
announcer,
interviewer
yeah.
guy.
Interviewer,
Yeah, interview guy.
Oh, he missed.
But those guys in the crowd look really impressed by that. I didn't know Mordecai was here in like 1995.
So, rumor has it that they saw Hakushi's gimmick and thought, oh, this would be a fun guy for The Undertaker to fight. And then they got there and he was kind of short, so they didn't know what to do with him.
That sounds like Hayde Vanson all over you.
Is that why Hayden
Some people don't learn.
He was short?
He does eventually fight Taker, but he fights him in Japan.
Hakushi
Must take
being
an
not
age.
Hayden
I don't-
Vanson, right?
It must take an ages to put all those fake tattoos on his face.
Maybe they just have like a stencil. They just kind of like airbrush it on them.
Yeah, just have a stencil and then just spray
Yeah.
like black paint over the top of it.
It's 95. They don't know that that's bad for you.
I like how the background here is just sound padding.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
so
like,
they're
what do we
building up the
do with
fact
this?
that
Just slap the logo on top.
so they're building up the fact that Hakushi's been undefeated so far.
Look at
Quite the
top
mullet.
Gills.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a wicked mullet going on right now.
I mean, they
And
had
he
music
doesn't-
far too early to rib him. He's clearly nowhere near done with his promo, and they just hit his music.
What's he checking his
No, he signed the glasses. I guess he always did that to give to the kids.
My buddy
Live from
Bret
Syracuse.
has a pair of Bret's glasses, and he decided to wipe off the autograph. It's like, why?
Why?
Yeah.
I think before we start this, it might be like worth just talking a little bit about how the In Your House pay-per-view itself ever came about. So,
Yes.
so In Your House was essentially WWE's response to the fact that WCW had expanded their pay-per-view schedule in '95. I think in '95, WCW was doing about 9 pay-per-views a year, and so WWE only had, I guess it was 5 at this point.
5.
Yeah, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, King of the Ring, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series. And so the In Your House ones were going to be 2-hour specials that took place every month. There wasn't a major pay-per-view. I think they were offered at a significantly lower price. They're probably about half price.
Yeah, these were like $10.
Yeah, so it was just a way to try to supplement their income. And to be fair, there's a good argument to be made that it sustained the company and kept them afloat for quite a while during this point of really significant decline for the company.
And if you think about it, the legacy of that becomes just the standard that there's always a pay-per-view once a month. Nowadays, it's more than once a month. Sometimes we get like 3 or 4 a month, it seems. And it kind of sets up the idea of B-level events, because it used to be, Survivor Series, big deal. Royal Rumble, big deal. WrestleMania, biggest deal of the whole time. SummerSlam, okay, it's been a couple months. Let's do another big thing. King of the Ring, big tournament. And then it starts going, well, the In Your House thing doesn't really need to have as many big matches. And then you get something like Backlash, for instance, or Vengeance, or Judgment Day, or whatever different ones that you've got. And some of those actually got started from from In Your House events. And then they kind of book them as if they're not as big of a deal. So you can get away with having rematches for stuff, or like maybe it's not every big person is on the card. And so there's negatives that came along with that kind of booking philosophy too. But then again, we got a lot of great moments out of some of these things.
The early In Your House has also had dark matches. Like, after the event goes off the air, The Undertaker's going to fight Kama. So don't leave the building just yet, or, purchase your ticket because you're going to get to see Undertaker fight Kama if you go to the On Center in Syracuse, even though the audience doesn't see the Undertaker on this card.
My eyes were immediately drawn to the guy in the second or third row in the ECW shirt.
ECW shirt, yeah.
The one who looks like Tully's.
Yeah.
That's Simon's dad. What the hell was that move?
I don't know whether that was supposed to be like the float over clothesline Undertaker does, or some sort of shoulder block, but it was kind of a mix of both.
Yeah.
Well,
Whatever it was, it
shoulder
wasn't
block.
right. Shinja's got a very Ted DiBiase look to him.
We'll see plenty of Ted DiBiase tonight as well.
Oh, we sure will.
He's with Sid, right?
Yes.
I wonder how many people have mullets in this crowd. Half.
Also, I'm just noticing close to the guy with the ECW shirt. There's someone with a UWA hat. I don't know if that's another wrestling. That's another wrestling promotion, right? The United Wrestling Alliance.
I would assume, but I'm not sure.
Basically, just loads of people that are here that would rather be at another show.
Well, the guy in the ECW shirt's probably one of those guys that just goes to every wrestling event in the area.
Yeah, it's New York, so this is the what is the arena? Onondaga County War Memorial? What?
It's Syracuse. It's Syracuse, New York.
Yeah, never been. Never even.
It's just upstate. It snows a lot over there. I used to live there.
Oh.
What the hell was that? What?
Brett was supposed to float over, and he did not. He did not float over, so he just elbowed him in the face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, these two ever worked together before?
Probably not.
Hart, right?
It gets better.
I didn't know Keith was wrestling tonight. This is not setting me up for even more enjoying this if Bret Hart's having a stinker in the opening match.
That might be even better then.
So you couldn't do that nowadays because there's no crowd to warn in.
I was gonna say I appreciate that he listened to the audience.
He's a smart babyface, although he just got a load of throat thrusts. Not quite as impressive as Kane's one.
No, Kane's are amazing. He's not on this card. I don't think he exists yet.
Oh, he does. He's probably like.
Well, no, I mean Isaac Yankem doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Just came out of nowhere, okay? Just appeared from the ether.
I always love that front corner buckle that Bret Hart takes.
That's his signature bump.
For anybody confused, if you didn't watch the opening, he will be fighting Bret later in the show.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to book Bret twice on this.
The point being that Bret is the only guy on the roster who can actually do that, who takes such pride in wrestling that he'll wrestle twice and he'll wrestle anybody.
We'll try to look up the roster at this time. Let's see.
Good luck.
1985.
Well, he's already done it in but they've already
10,
built up a reputation of him being a 2-time a night guy.
Yeah, because he won King of the Ring. He did WrestleMania. He did Royal Rumble, I think, in '94 as well. Jeez, he's done that a lot. What the hell?
Let's see. According to this website, solely.org, you got Brooklyn Brawler, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Luke Williams. Okay. Butch Miller. Oh, I guess.
Luke and Butch. Yeah, Bushwhackers.
Did not know him by Luke Williams. Undertaker, IRS, Tatanka, Owen Hart, Barry Horowitz, Fatu, Razor Ramon, Bob Backlund, Yokozuna, Bam Bam Bigelow, Jerry Lawler, Lex Luger, Mabel and Mo, Bart and Billy Gunn, 123 Kid, who's injured, Adam Bomb, who's on this card, Diesel, Jean-Pierre Lafitte, Tom Pritchard, Jimmy Del Rey, Doink the Clown, the Phil Apollo version, Alundra Blaze, Jeff Jarrett, Quang is around at this time, Sparkplug, Bob Holly, Duke the Dumpster Drosy, British Bulldog, King Kong Bundy, Aldo Montoya, Hakushi, Henry Godwin, Skip, Louis Piccoli, Man Mountain Rock. I'm glad that he might be on the card. I don't know. The Roadie, Jacob and Eli Blue, Sid, Bertha Faye, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Chad Fortune, and Eric Watts. You got some really good people on this, but you got some stinkers. It'll be good to have like
Quang is no longer a thing after this show, as we'll see later in the evening.
Bob Holly's like a reliable hand, you know. Henry Godwin had some decent moments here and there.
Always good to see.
Never say that. But okay.
Always good to see Tim White refereeing as well.
Yeah, that was one thing I was going to say. Something I'll probably know on this card that I won't know on any other card will be the names of all the referees, because they used to actually tell you.
Oh, the very breathless Vince McMahon, high pitched like. You can tell he's like pulling away from, like, you can tell that like in his position he's just like pulling away from the microphone when he's doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Hakushi's the heel. They're not really. They're being quite subtle about it.
At some point, we're gonna go from the to the. I wonder if we should have started a counter of how many times he goes. 1, 2, he's got him now.
No. Only 2.
Although he's much worse when it comes to the Royal Rumbles. He's pretty much like, that's it. He's out. He's been eliminated. He's gone. He's whatever. And he's still just like very barely dangling. It's like,
but I always wonder, like, if that's what he wants from his announcers today. Like, does he want that? Like, yeah, that's it. No, only 2.
Wow, that handspring elbow into the corner. I thought Kelly made that many times.
She might not admit it, but she perfected it, pal.
It's amazing that like he was inspired by Kelly just like several years before she even debuted.
How old would she be at this point?
Like 9? Like,
no, she was how old was she when she joined WWE?
She was 19
when she was 19
when she started
in 2006. Yeah,
she was born in 1987.
She would have been 8. Yeah, about 8 this time.
I mean, for context, like she's 8. I'm 8 at this point too. So to me, this is
I'm
just like
2.
he's got him. He's gonna hit the move, and then it's gonna be the end of it. Oh, he hit the headbutt. Oh my god, it's over. He already pinned him.
There it is.
See? 1, 2, 3. Count of 3. He got him. It's like he hasn't even gone down for the 3 count yet.
Very good balance by Hakushi though on the top rope there. I'm also looking at one of the guys in the front row that hasn't uncrossed his arms since the show started.
Really? Where's that guy at?
He's really into that praying pose.
Yeah, it's the one in the
In No Mercy, yeah.
Oh, who's that dropping out sky?
Bret can't do the nip up, but he can do that.
But he's unhooked his arms. He must be excited that Bret Hart's now in control.
So, fun fact, 1995 was the last year that Bret works the full year. And if you look at this year, it's a weird mix of people. Like, he's fighting 2 guys tonight. He fights a dentist at SummerSlam, a pirate the month after. So it's not the greatest last year for Bret, but it's the last full year of Bret Hart.
At least he gets to end it as WWF champion. So
He does. And his last 2 matches are fantastic with Diesel and Bulldog.
Always like this.
Yeah, he did that better than most.
did like people really do that move that often? Like I can't ever really.
It's
that
him
with
and
Bret.
Austin.
Yeah, him and Austin were the only 2 I can think of, and he did it better than Austin. Austin did a little middle finger thing every once in a while with it.
Why
But
is Shinja just, what?
Well, he's a heel. He's doing what managers do. This is a time where managers are basically everywhere.
That's right.
dastardly heels. How are they allowed to do that? Come on, ref.
Oh, that was
Wow,
a
what
nice
a
sell.
sell on that clothesline.
What? Speaking of selling, what's that guy
Yeah, I
handing
was
out in the
wondering what
crowd?
It's like pamphlets.
Whatever it is, I want it.
I was trying to read that sign in the crowd too. It looked like it said "Get the Slammies." It might have said something else.
What, do they give him cotton candy? Snow
I've seen
cones?
I remember seeing a sign earlier where someone said Bob Holly can't drive a go-kart. That caught my eye for a little bit.
Yeah, he's past Thurman Plug at this point.
Yeah, he's past Thurman Plug, he's past Sparky Plug, he's just Bob Holly.
That was. I mean, that's not the
was
worst we've
hilarious.
seen.
That wasn't great, but you know what?
No, I actually like that because it made it look just so like he's just so desperate to get to him that he's just like fuck this, fuck the ropes, fuck everything.
Now you just see like 100 of them on every single event.
Yeah, I know.
God knows
And they
how
look
many
And
times
I
you hear
like
Tope
the stuff that
Suicida.
isn't, flawless because it looks more real.
Yeah, I kind of preferred that one. That looked like wilder and more just over the top reckless than a lot of just the really crisp, nice
Up and
looking
over
Suicide guys we
and-
get now.
What the? Oof.
Oh,
Oh,
he likes that spot when
He's
he's
trying
in
to-
there with smaller guys.
trying to boost another half star onto this match.
Here's
Oh,
where,
what did Meltzer rate this? Hold on.
Here's where Pritchard goes. If it was in the Tokyo Dome, he would have. There's a cop sitting in the crowd, chomping away at his gum.
Get the let's look at the commentators for a little bit.
Doc.
Is it-
I really
like-
want Michael Hayes to do the kickoff show for In Your House.
I know you keep saying that you want Doc Hendricks and Todd Pettengill to
And
be
Todd
there.
Pettengill. Like, you only get one shot at this. Do it right.
I was trying to get Bret counted out. Oh,
That's good.
oh,
Oh, Vince loved that word.
But unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
it's a nice, it was a nice spot. It took a bit of setup, but it was a nice elevation with that.
Are the barricades gold? Yeah. Huh. Look at that.
God, maybe God, even WWE at this point in time could have gold barricades, and no wonder they were losing money.
Yeah, solid gold, 24 karat.
I mean, they could have gold barricades, and AEW can't even have a gold title. I mean, fuck that company.
AEW did just have their first count out last night, so they got something going for. You gotta go with. I thought he was gonna go with the roll up.
Oh, German. Oh,
Okay, different type of.
just one away victory.
He never wins with the fucking
There's-
sharpshooter ever.
Pyro. Why is
Bret
there
was the
pyro?
only person.
Guys, you are losing millions of dollars. They didn't even have pyro when they were like multi-billionaires in like the in the mid 2010s. Like, no, can't have pyro, too expensive.
But they didn't have pyro in the entrance.
I think the only person who gets pyro in their entrance is Razor gets it and Diesel gets it, and then Sean and Bret would get it for their little victories like this. But it was always the same. That just
I like
pyro.
the lighting. I like the lighting effects because it's just like makes it feel like they had a unique finish for these guys when they were to win.
Meltzer gave this 3 3/4 stars, and I think that's actually fair.
Did he just fall?
Oh, he's pretending that he's twisted his knee.
Doing that.
Yes, he's pretending. Well, Callum spoiled it. Yeah, he's pretending.
Well, of course he's pretending he twisted his knee. I know it's a sell job, but that's just. Couldn't you pretend to have like even had Hakushi work over the knee during the match? You just had to have Bret Hart just twist it going out like a klutz.
Bret Hart loved the knee thing.
It's he did that on purpose. He wants to make Lawler think he's hurt.
Oh, I just thought like it was like fake as it. Yeah. See, now you spoiled it.
Well, you gonna spoil who wins this house?
It wasn't me, I'll tell you.
I thought it was fake in the. I just said it was fake in the same way that Hakushi just having his shoulders down in the mat for 3 seconds was fake.
Oh, okay. Who's the other person? Is that Medusa?
No. Maybe.
It might. Yeah, it might be. I can't.
Hey, look,
tell.
Jerry Lawler's got a beat.
Which was Medusa? Had Medusa left by this point?
No, she doesn't leave until December.
Also, we shouldn't be calling Medusa. That's WCW's name for her. This is
Olinda Blaze, whatever.
I guess it is, maybe. Who is this chick? Stephanie?
Yeah, I thought I'm not going to go have Stephanie McMahon on this, but God, she's got a big face.
Imagine
how many of you wanted to sell it all and move to Florida? I as somebody who lives in Florida, maybe don't.
Why is she staring into my soul?
Why is this like a thing? Like, why is it like, oh, can you imagine the guys driving the car? I don't fucking care. It's a wrestling show. I
didn't realize they had the O.J. Simpson chase this year.
You're not seeing
it's only the Northeast.
You don't see anything.
Speaking of weird entrances.
I tell you what, I mean, if I were doing the end of the year awards back then, and I had to write down like all the extra characters for the the other character of the year award, and I have to put down like, oh, there's the cops that are here, whatever like that. I guarantee you, this Stephanie woman would end up being my least favorite broadcast correspondent.
Well, I don't know, man. We had some weird players in '95. I assume you'd be watching WCW as well, and it wasn't like they were much better.
Yeah, but if you stick to WWF for the end of the year awards, imagine being like, all right, best commentator of the year, Doc Hendricks. Yeah. Oh god, the sound quality.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. They're really showing off all that money they don't have with this entrance.
It's amazing how far this like the calling technologies come, except Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowadays if you connect to Skype, all you can hear is whoosh in the background. I always liked this version of Jeff Jarrett.
Really?
Yeah, he's an ass. He's just like a great chicken shit heel.
It didn't matter about the gimmick. He was always an ass.
But like, there's something about this. I mean, maybe it's the fact that I really don't like country music and stuff that made it even easier to like hate Jeff
Probably.
Jarrett. But like, the gimmick is just so weird. Like, why is he wearing these suspenders like cut like that? Why does he want to be a wrestler if he's a singer? Like, so many things about it. But he always had good matches too. And when he started to try to
Yeah.
take himself a little bit more seriously, I didn't get as much into it. Like the slap nuts thing was stupid, and but I do like the guitar too. I gotta admit that.
Holy shit! That hairstyle that the Road Dogg is
It's something, huh?
What's worse?
I know he kind of like made the dread look his own, like the cornrows thing going forward, and that worked for him. But at this point, it's just no.
It's looking like something.
Look at all that machismo.
It's just oozing off of him.
I didn't know what machismo meant as a kid. I'm 8 years old. I'm watching this at the time or whatever. Anything around this type of time frame. And the fact that they would always say machismo is oozing, I just always imagined like a block of cheddar cheese melting.
I'll go one step further. Not being able to put together that logo right there was a razor, I just assumed it was cheese. I'm a kid,
like that guy holding up the foam thing right there is just a block of cheese, like the Green Bay Packers cheesehead type thing.
Yeah, like
the bad guy. What a cheesy character.
Look at all that pyro.
I kind of like just I'm just noticing like the basics, like the fact that they just changed the lighting when someone steps in the ring. Like, why don't they do that nowadays?
Because they're boring and they're lazy.
They only do it for a couple of people, like Cesaro. They have like that little light show going on.
They had the green for Cesaro, I think.
Yeah, they changed the light for the Fiend, but then they keep it on. It's like
maybe it's just a matter of that there's too many people. Because you figure
Hey,
right
look,
now,
it's Mike Chioda.
Yeah, like
Mullet Chioda.
At this point, there's like 20-something people on the roster, whereas now WWE is like, you count all the NXT UK people, all the NXT, 205 Live, Raw, SmackDown, you're at like 100 plus. So maybe it's just a matter of them being like, well, you don't have that many color combinations and stuff.
Well, maybe it could be a way to try and make their big stars appear even bigger because they're getting that special treatment.
Yeah.
Rather than everybody being the same.
Like, you can definitely tell that the big stars here are, Razor, Bret. Everybody who gets a special entrance is like, wow, this guy's a big deal.
The ACW guy is really surprised about something.
Like
just
Doc Hendricks
like,
Doc Hendricks trying to explain what a handicap match is.
Oh no, didn't you hear them? This is the first ever handicap match in WWE.
It is it?
Oh, well, I guess on pay-per-view. Like, they had done some stuff at house shows, but very much like how they thought WrestleMania 10 was the first ladder match because it was the first one most people had seen.
This is the also the version of the Road Dogg action figure that I had.
Me too.
Don't know why in the era of New Age Outlaws that they made this version of this.
It was this exact attire, right? But he had the bandana on, and it said D-Generation X
right
on the shirt. Because I had it, like, that's exactly the toy I had. I had a purple Jeff Jarrett, and he looked like this.
I don't think I had a Jeff Jarrett figure.
I didn't have a razor, surprisingly.
I had, I think, the silver trunks. Now I'm thinking about it. With the short hair and the glasses.
I'm very surprised that I never had a razor.
Yeah, I don't think I had a razor figure. Or no, I might have had one of them too. Now I got to look up the action figures around this time frame.
Callum, I know you didn't have any from this time frame, but did you ever have any action figures?
Yeah, it was not for like I said, not from this time frame, but from like the Attitude Era, it's the ruthless aggression thing pretty onward. I collected them pretty until like my early teenage years.
Okay, I think I had a Razor. Jack's bone crunching action. That's
I'm
the
looking
Razor
at
with
it
like the
now.
purplish type stuff. I didn't have Diesel though.
I had Diesel. I did not have Razor. I'm seeing 2 Razor variants, one gold and one purple. I don't like that the vest, my guess is, doesn't come off.
Yeah. One of these days we have to do just like a dark cast about all the action figure stuff.
Oh, there's a Shroud.
I like that strip.
I enjoy Double J shredding.
It's always funny though to think that like Jeff Jarrett is basically just a combination of the Honky Tonk Man and Ric Flair.
Yeah.
You got the figure 4, the strut, the country music gimmick, the guitar. I mean, that's basically it. Like he's got the blonde hair, the long blonde hair.
The country
I'd say he
gimmick.
leans more towards. Yeah, I'd say he leans more towards Honky than Flair, though.
That's fair.
I mean, he uses the figure 4 as well as finisher as well. So
Just like imagine if like everybody was just sort of a combination of those things. Every like popular enough star was just the same couple people. Like
it kind of, it pretty much is really.
Yeah.
well, I mean, you don't
Yeah,
see
you can
anybody
quite.
nowadays being like, I wear a vest and I drink beer and give you the middle finger.
No, if you have Becky Lynch, she basically just takes all the different mannerisms of Austin.
And Kevin Owens, I have no qualms about using a stunner.
It's one thing to do one move, but Owens doesn't have like a skull design or like
Thanks.
he doesn't cut promos about opening up a can of whoop ass,
No, but like you see, like Jarrett doing like drop kicks and things like that. It's not like Flair ever did a drop kick, really. At
Oh
least,
no,
at
Honky
least when
Tonk
he
Man
actually got
did.
into the main event level. It's kind of like you always see wrestlers take some level of inspiration from the people that come before it, just try and put their own little spin on it. Also, I don't think that anybody the size of Razor Ramon should ever be doing a small package.
I like that Vince just did that. He got him. He did not get him. No.
That's the Vince trademark.
It's amazing.
You always know that a match isn't about to end because he says that it's going to end.
That's a thing that commentators still do, and I can't stand. This is it. Oh my god.
I mean, I'm like a lot of times I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to like a particular match on SmackDown or something like that, and it's always funny because like I'll be watching it with like Caroline or something like that, and I'll be like literally not facing the TV or anything, and I'm like, all right, I gotta hop back on the computer. This is about to end, and it's just sort of like, you know, I can't even tell what move's going on, but I can tell just by the inflection of the commentators that it's about to end, and then a couple seconds later, 9 times out of 10, it's just like, and 3, okay, whatever. It was funny hearing a couple seconds ago when they were chanting for Razor, like, there's a certain sound to this era of the crowd. It always sounds like
It sounds
it's, like
like they're kids.
right, like, it's higher pitched because it's the kids, and it's just like that, like, "Razor, Razor," like, there's a completely different sound, you skip forward a couple years. Right now, they even like that, high pitched type of thing. Of course, if you judge the sound from nowadays, we're in the empty
And now
arena
it's
era, and now it's just got a couple people from NXT being told what to do, and they're just like, boo, we don't like you, you're a heel."
I mean, we're seeing something that we won't see in a lot of the WWE tapings nowadays. People sitting down.
I can't believe that they don't have anywhere for them to sit.
It's even worse with the fact that like people will have to sit down here, and this show's like significantly shorter than an episode of Raw.
Than Raw. I know, it's half the length of a current episode of Raw.
That just means that Raws are super shows. Oh god, yeah.
He did it again. Twice in this match.
I've probably mentioned this before, but one of the things that I always liked so much more about WWF or WWE versus WCW is the sound of the mat. I like this so much better. I don't like that like more tinny sound that WCW's mat has.
I mean, I assume it's just like Mike's better, but I don't know whether that's to suggest that like the mat is harder than WCW's one was. In which case, it
feel
makes
like it has a little bit more of an echo in WWF.
Yeah,
might
it
be
might
that
just
it's
be Mike's
Sprint
up
was
better.
bigger and probably Mike's better.
Look at that kid in the front row. Like, well, I assume he's like this.
Well, I don't know, because he gave Hakushi the finger in the first match.
Yeah, no, which is like he's trying to rile up the crowd, and then he realizes no one's getting on board with it, so he
No,
just
he
slowly
just
sits back down.
He's got that type of teal to be in 1995, though. Teal was a big color around this time frame.
I mean, credit to him, he tried.
Yeah.
Road Dogg hasn't done a fucking thing in this match, has he?
Hey,
he's been in every now and again. It's quite interesting the way they decided to like structure his handicap match, because it hasn't been just, for the most part, it's been Jarrett and Road Dogg taking control. But basically every single time, Razor Ramon makes his own comeback pretty much every 2 or 3 minutes.
It's like he's got Kid on his boot because it's like, oh, he's injured or whatever. Like,
I'm surprised there's such a long double down, because this isn't like the current eras where they'd be waiting for the "This is awesome" chant to start.
No, but they actually got a Razor chant because people are still cheering for babyfaces at this point.
Cheering for a babyface called the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, he was ahead of his game.
There's a woman in the front crowd that's like praying right now. She's like, please get off, Razor. And Razor looking to see when his cue is.
Well, at least they acknowledged it and covered it up pretty well in commentary.
Razor looking like the end of Scarface here.
What's this dude walking by? Did you see that guy?
Is he selling
something or something?
Yeah, I assume he's out there selling. Yeah, that woman in front is like, she's living and dying where everything's happening to Razor in this match.
Clearly, she's the old lady that's just like, oh my god, he's so hot.
Or the whole like, oh, these people are really hurt, and now I just want them to be okay. Can't we all just get along?
This is a wholesome era. This is like an era. This is the era before the Attitude Era, where basically whenever you saw a woman in the crowd, she was being controlled to take her top off and show her tits. So
yeah, but I don't think that they'd get that old woman to do that.
No.
Imagine Triple H just being like, "Sorry."
Like, she doesn't look that old.
She said, "Come on, Razor," so she's into it.
You can tell she thinks it's real.
It's still real to her, damn it.
Damn, another double down. Doing the most with the least, clearly.
Are they just dragging out the time of this thing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Because, I mean, Mabel and Adam Bomb can't go 25 minutes.
They
might. I'm trying to compare that. I'm just trying to compare that to like a Young Bucks match where you'd have to hit like 50,000 super kicks and get up after a 2 count.
I know.
Not like complaining, it's far more exciting than this is.
I'm not disliking this match though.
Oh no, stop! No, this is like I imagine it's going to get a lot worse from here. But these last 2 matches are probably going to be the high points. But it's not a bad match. It's well structured. It's just it's not exactly exciting.
I mean, you compare it to modern day standards. I mean, when they're doing mostly punches and stuff, it's like a move like that is nothing nowadays.
Mm.
And that's like the high point of this match for the most part. It's like, oh my god, he did like a back suplex off the middle rope. Nowadays, people are like, he did a 1080. Somehow he flipped that many times, and they're like, 2 count.
Yeah, but I do appreciate the fact they're making the most of like the little they're doing in this one because the crowd are like really into everything, and that's what you want.
That was one of the most choreographed things I've ever seen, and the place fucking blew.
Oh,
I always
getting
like the
them, he's
Razor's
getting them.
Edge.
he's gonna do it.
Good finisher.
Yeah, I love the Razor's Edge. And I always got like disappointed when Sheamus stopped doing the Celtic cross or whatever we used to call it.
He used to run with it, right?
Yeah, because he used to just run from the corner with it. That was like a really devastating finisher, and then he just started doing the bro kick because that got over.
The worst was the white noise.
The Celtic cross.
Oh, yeah,
Or
that
Finley's.
Finley's move, yeah. But I don't even know what happened there. Did he kind of dodge the chop
He tried
block,
to
or
clip
did he
him
just
and
like
then
no sell
Razor
it?
moved. He tried to clip his knee, Razor moved, and then he did the discus punch. And now he really gets the knee.
I love the
Everybody
fact
who's
they
a
decided
babyface just
to.
has to have a messed up knee.
I just find that's quite a weird way of finishing it. It's like the Intercontinental Champion is the one that gets pinned, and the lackey's the one that gets protected.
Yeah, that's true.
But it works because, Razor can be like, damn, if only the title was on the line.
Aldo
Hey, look, it's Aldo Montoya.
Portuguese Man of War coming into the rescue. I never liked this whole get up. I never understood it.
So this is just incredible, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, again, it's just how much things change over a few years.
Yeah, he comes out to help. He gets his ass beat.
And it's Savio Vega making his debut.
Wow.
And that is why Quang is no longer a thing, as I mentioned earlier when you said Quang.
Huh. Look at that.
So
We're witnessing
what was
history here.
so was the idea that like he aligned with Razor because Vega was like Puerto Rican, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's supposed to be one of Razor's friends from the streets, is what it is.
All right.
Not a bad way to debut a guy.
No.
They make him
They're
seem
acting
kind of
like
cool.
they don't know who he is.
Like,
They're getting all the officials to get him out.
Yeah, he's
Makes
like,
Aldo Montoya look like a piece of shit.
well, yeah, but I mean, he's Aldo Montoya.
But he was already a piece of shit.
Yeah, you sacrifice him because he comes out to make the save. He looks bad. I always like this dude with the blonde hair.
Renee Goulet.
Yeah, like this makes Savio look like a bit of a badass.
I was gonna say, what's Christopher Lloyd's uglier brother do? Yeah.
Savio, we have to go back to when you're Quang.
Hey, look, it's that cop who's in the front row. Are you making those poor people stand out there the whole show?
Oh, it's almost like they're in the crowd for a modern day wrestling event.
This is so
What is
unrealistic.
this?
It's the King of the Ring promo, by the way.
Oh wow.
What's up with the
Amazing.
speeded up? It's typical wrestling fans. They're watching it for the first time. They didn't know it existed, and as soon as they start watching it, they just start pushing each other.
Yeah, it's not really doing much for WWE's like future lawsuits, where they said that they weren't influencing children to beat the shit out of each other in like recess and stuff like that.
If I'm right, this is the last appearance of Jack Tunney. I don't think I ever see Jack Tunney past 90. I thought he was gone by this time, really.
Well, eventually they switch over to Gorilla, and they do the whole thing with Gorilla and Vader.
It's Gorilla by like September, so
yeah. And Piper pops up for a little bit.
But that's only because Gorilla gets his ass kicked by Vader.
I always loved Sid's.
Here's Aldo Montoya getting the shit again.
If you didn't know, that Montoya was not the main guy going on here. He was twice in a row.
So this is the second coming of Sid. So he was Sid Justice, and then he left for WCW, and now he's back as Sid Vicious. God almighty.
Yeah, this is after he turns on Shawn.
Right.
Because Shawn's a babyface at this point.
It's always the thing. It's always the way, isn't it? That Shawn Michaels, like, he has his bodyguards, and then his bodyguards become the main event before he does.
Well, yeah, because it's a big man's world.
This is my favorite version of Sid. Sycho Sid's so much better.
This is so cool. He's gonna walk right through the pyro, which is something that nobody had ever seen at that point.
Because he's Sycho.
He's also Sid.
Jesus, these are some like reckless power bombs I've ever seen.
Yeah, these power bombs are gross.
I was gonna say, like, we already saw like Hakushi being inspired by Kelly. Sid has clearly been inspired by Nia Jax.
Oh.
Well, if we get Sid versus Kairi Sane, she's fucked. Apparently, she gets injured again.
Yeah, I'm wondering who survives like a Sid Nia Jax match.
The ref.
No, not even that.
Is that Mike Myers in the crowd? Oh no, it's this guy who looks kind of like him.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Mike Myers. Barry Didinsky.
Hey, can you please buy some of these? Barry Didinsky, yeah, that's a name that I don't remember at all. I love how they have to bother with the phone number no longer hacked.
Shirts, and the only ones I ever find on eBay are like extra large, and that ain't me.
Well, I'm surprised they sold loads of extra large versions of these shirts. Who'd have thought of a wrestling crowd?
Undertaker World Barry, comma.
One size fits all. That is so not true.
Oh, you totally just gave out free shirts. You're like,
Look at that. Yeah, one size fits all. Look at the woman with like, it's like she's wearing a beach towel, but it's way too big for her. Here's the man.
I imagine that robe weighs more than an average human being. So here's the guy who's being like fast tracked on his way to becoming King Mabel in the near future. So this is a King of the Ring qualifying match
for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So this is a King of the Ring qualifying match. So I kind of spoiled who wins then in that regard.
To be fair, I mean, obviously, like, we joke about Mabel all the time and stuff, and Mabel was never good. But to be fair, for this first ever In Your House, in the context of like doing something that's trying to not be the biggest thing in the world, like a King of the Ring event or a SummerSlam or something, but still enough, you got a big guy like Adam Bomb, who's not completely dead in the water yet. And it's a King of the Ring qualifying match, and it's featuring the guy that would eventually win the King of the Ring tournament. So in their mind, they're putting over Mabel and making him look strong to give him momentum for the King of the Ring win. Like, it's, in retrospect, I understand the booking. The match is probably going to be awful.
I can't believe that I'm going to now just sit through Mabel against Brian Clark.
We'll probably be talking about the match longer than the match is.
Right, that's kind of cool. That pyro.
Yeah, I'm not denying that. Like the aesthetics are pretty cool. It's just the guy who's they've donned the aesthetics in that's the problem.
Yeah. Well, he's got the look to him. Like, imagine.
I never had a problem with him when he did the Wrath stuff in WCW.
I don't even remember Wrath all that much, but like,
no, it's more about the Chronic stuff that he did after that.
Well, okay, Chronic was good. Chronic in the WWF was not.
If you had Adam Bomb now,
is Danny Davis still refereeing here?
Who would be the modern day Adam Bomb?
Um,
I mean, obviously, there's no gimmick for it. Like, there's no
I'm trying to think of a
person trying to be
big
the.
guy who's a babyface but still not going anywhere.
I guess they turn Mojo babyface.
Yeah, look kind of like a Mojo.
Mojo's smaller than Adam Bomb, right?
No.
Everyone's smaller than like the guys that were around back here.
Would he be about the same size as like Dijakovic?
Potentially,
Don't put that on
Dijakovic is pretty big.
Yeah, but don't put that on Dijakovic.
I mean,
No,
Dijakovic's better.
Yeah.
Mabel's already resting.
I always thought it
I
was
mean,
funny
that
with,
didn't go as ugly as I thought that it was going to.
Yeah.
Really, they should have gone whole hog with that, with the idea like as soon as he dives out the ring, they should have done like a like the sound of a bomb going off as he crashes to the floor.
I did not remember that.
Oh, that was as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I did not remember the mushroom cloud thing, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you are,
I think it's because that clothesline was so bad because Mabel didn't get close enough. But Cornette tells a story that because Adam Bomb was one of his guys in Smoky Mountain, and he had high hopes for him as a top heel. But then Vince saw he's got the tattoo on his shoulder, and he's like, "Okay, that's it. We're just going full Adam Bomb with you." And they gave him the name Adam Bomb.
Oh my god. Okay,
Who would win?
I know you think you can do like a rolling
Mabel?
heel kick, but you can't, so don't do it. Like 6'8" and being able to move like that. To be honest, it's probably
That's
actually just
it.
impressive that Mabel can
Wow.
move.
That fast.
I told you we'd be talking about it longer.
Or at least, well, are you honestly like disappointed that it went that long?
Well, we don't get many chances to talk about Mabel, even though we do all the time. That kid with his Adam Bomb Hasbro.
But you can bet Todd Pettingill's happy. He's so fucking pissed. Jesus, Vince. But we can go to Todd fucking Pettingill. You changed. You used to be Quang. Just breaks the fourth wall immediately.
They have to remind us the phone number is no longer active.
I mean, I don't
You
know
never
about you,
know.
but I was thinking about potentially winning this house.
Quite funny because I watched a recent episode of Smack. Well, not a recent episode, but like an old episode of SmackDown from the early 2000s, and they used to have when Hulk Hogan wrestled on SmackDown for a while. He used to have
His own website.
his own website, Hulk Hogan. Like I don't know if just like HulkHogan.com or I think it was the Red and Gold or something like that.com.
I think that was something that they had for everybody. I think Hogan it was redandYellow.com, or then they had like WWFDivas.com.
Yeah, so I just went on to redandYellow.com and just redirects to the WWE.com website.
I wonder how much money
Pretty
they
clever.
spend on domain redirects.
Probably a drop in the bucket for them.
Yeah.
We got to figure. I mean, unless they're doing something. I mean, they might do it through like, just like Google, where it's like $10 or whatever. But like, they probably have hundreds and hundreds.
I quite like this because I was confused for a second, but now I realised that Jerry Lawler wants to get him in the ring now because he thinks that he's hurt. He thinks Bret's hurt, so he wants to make sure he can't recover.
Match going.
Yeah.
I always like Jim Cornette like this.
Yeah, better than now.
Yeah, to be fair.
Hey, look, Owen's got a belt.
You see, this is back when wrestling was like real, when it was like real men's things. So it's like the the fake Samoan Japanese sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
I loved Yokozuna though. And for that matter, I mean, I don't know how many times I've talked about how Owen Hart's like one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I like this team.
It's kind of I don't say, like, it's difficult to watch anything to do with Owen, especially so soon after that documentary.
Even back then, they were obsessed with their first time ever. As Doc Hendricks just said, first time ever on a WWF pay-per-view, Owen's a champion and Bret is not.
This is
I like that Owen's just carrying both belts.
Well, I guess it doesn't really fit around the waist of Yokozuna.
Yeah, but you could put it on his shoulder and he wouldn't even feel the difference. That's cool.
I'm not even sure it fits around his shoulder.
That's pretty cool.
Never was a fan of this look of the Smoking Guns with the mustache and all. But I did like the Smoking Guns from back in the day.
They're a pretty good team. I mean, now everybody thinks about Billy and they just think New Age Outlaws.
Yeah. If you think about Bart, you think of Brawl for All.
Yeah, you know, him getting knocked out by Butterbean.
Yokozuna with the cheap heat. Fuck you all, I'm from a different country.
Yeah.
So the Smoking Guns baby faces in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I've always pictured them as being heels, because the only thing that I really recorded them is like their feud with the Godwins, where they were definitely heels.
No, they're baby faces for like the first 4 years they're around.
They were predominantly baby faces. Sonny coming along, kind of messed around with that. Although that was a good era of Sonny. Again, better than now. Now both she and Cornette, every time that they end up speaking about something, they end up defending those people.
Fuck Sonny, man.
Well, I probably can. OnlyFans.
Yeah. Name your price.
Yeah, I mean,
So is Yokozuna at this point? Is he on course? Because basically, I don't know whether he started his journey yet to become the fattest pro wrestler in history.
he's well into it. This is well after they tried to get him into a facility, and he's just getting fatter and fatter.
Well, they had said before, I'm not remembering exactly the details, but it was something like he would have like a bucket of KFC for like a snack and stuff. And it's like, I mean, you're heading down a bad path in that kind of way, you know?
Yeah, I think he was at least approaching around about 800 pounds by the time that he actually died.
He's
I currently weigh like 170, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta lose 40 pounds.
Logically, if you're Owen, why the fuck would you ever tag in? Let the 600-pound guy deal the damage and win the match.
You tag in so you could get a quick drop kick and then tag back out.
Gunn did not even touch it. Like he barely touched the air that was surrounding Owen Hart with that drop kick.
And it is, of course, you know, benefit of hindsight and all that stuff. It is funny to think like Billy Gunn right here. He's got the mullet, he's got the mustache, he's full on still one of the Smoking Guns. 2 years later, he's Mr. Ass.
And 2 years after that, he's with a guy named Chuck.
And then 2 years after that, he's in something called the Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah. We don't like to forget that.
Did Mr. Fuji ever like do anything when he was like the manager of Yokozuna?
Yes, he did. We're at the tail end of Fuji's career, so he just is waving a flag at this point. But he used to like, throw salt and hit people with a cane and throw more salt.
Because I understand like Fuji's reputation is like, because he was one of the like multi-time reigning tag team champions in WWF's heyday. But he doesn't really seem to be adding too much to the package. Like, the only thing I know about, because I don't really go back and watch this period that often, the only thing that I can do is just check the like Wrestling Observer Awards, and I just see worst wrestling personality, or worst like character outside of like actual wrestlers, and it's always Mr. Fuji, Mr. Fuji, Mr. Fuji.
I want to keep thinking about it. It's his legs. One of his legs probably weighs as much as me.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm surprised the ring is still standing after that.
Well, there's a lot of beef in the ring.
Somebody say beef?
Be funny if like how they always used to do that with the like Mabel, Yokozuna, Bam Bam, all that stuff. It'd be like a lot of beef in the ring, and then Razor comes in. They're like, oh, now it's beef and cheese. We almost have a freaking burger going on here.
That's
Having it
gimmick
up.
infringement, Owen.
That's okay.
Owen had a little bit of Ric Flairisms too. The woo. He's changed it up a little bit instead of woo. It was more like woo, but it's really not
That was a
really
pretty
changing
good
too
move.
much.
Yeah, that's like a it was like a
Kinda like
mixture
a
of
3D.
both the Dudley Boys' finishing moves.
I think Owen used to do a not sharpshooter, figure four too, didn't he?
I think basically everybody this sort of era did a figure four at some point or another.
I think he only did the one match with Bret.
I mean, Bret does the figure four because he does it around the post.
Yeah. Imagine Yoko trying to do one.
So Yoko just dropped the leg on Bart here, and that is what I believe is the finish. Which
It's
is
pretty much
fair
his signature
because
move. Yeah. I mean, you get somebody as big as Yokozuna. Look at him. He's like, I thought he was
yeah,
going to
like
try to
if
climb
he
up.
drops his leg on you, you shouldn't get up.
Yeah. Somebody that big just slams that much of their body on top of your neck and
I like that Yoko's still getting the punch in. Good for Yoko.
I mean, that was his finisher anyway because didn't he use the leg drop to beat Hogan for the championship anyway?
He did.
Yeah. Again, I mean, look at the size of his legs. One of the few people that a leg drop should just be like, that's it, you're done. God, this hair with Todd Pettengill. I was gonna call him Michael Cole.
It's not that
You're
bad.
not entirely wrong.
Well, Michael Cole was like the edgy Todd Pettengill for like a little bit of time. Remember, it's like he has a goatee. He's got like more
Frosted
energy
tips.
to him. Yeah, the frosted tips and everything. It's like, oh, this isn't your daddy's Todd Pettengill.
Isn't your daddy's Todd Pettengill?
I want so bad to just get like a shaver and just to the back of that hair.
I think he does by like the next month.
I hope so. Business in the front, party in the back.
He's not very animated.
Well, he just said we were talking over it, but he's like, "Yeah, I'm not really feeling this. This is my first Mother's Day without a mom. I lost her around Christmas last year."
He's gonna be out there watching.
Or maybe be on commentary or something.
I did always used to like Diesel though. Like, I don't know exactly what I really liked about Kevin Nash, but back in this time frame, I was a big fan of Diesel.
We're not about an hour. We're about 10 minutes.
God, what's yeah, I'm shocked he didn't wasn't a really good draw as a babyface world champion.
Who's this?
His mother.
That's got to be like a Miss America or something like that, right? She's a knockout.
It's probably some chick he's been talking to.
Good for Lawler. If that's the case. And then Mom.
Oh god.
Oh, it's just challenging Helen Hart for a match. Jesus Christ. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Lawler is so bad and so amazing.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't make some sort of incest-related joke with her.
Like, why is this a promo? Why is it like, oh, this is my mom. Look how friggin' hot she is and everything. Like,
because it's Jerry Lawler.
that's insane. I love
See, I don't know
Lawler.
if he just like thinks that's like he's just doing that just to be Jerry Lawler, or he's doing that because he's trying to pretend that he's a lot younger than he actually is. I'm sorry, what? So he's not going to walk to the ring limping. Oh, he is going to. Okay.
Lawler didn't see that. The audience knows. Lawler doesn't know.
There you go. Now he's just running. We gotta get the reaction shot from Lawler. There we go.
There it is.
Wait a minute. No.
I mean, I kind
She
of
wasn't
get
my
it.
mom.
That just like, surely you would wait until some point during the match to
No, he's
like,
just gonna start chanting around.
yeah, to when he's attacked the knee, and you kind of like go like, oh, I got you because you've just chopped off the knee, and then you just nip up with your Bret or whatever, and then you just like show that the knee's doesn't have a problem whatsoever.
I guess the philosophy is Lawler's in the ring and he can't run now.
He can't really now.
So, like, with that little idea that, oh, I can actually win the match with the knee messed up, now he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna actually have to wrestle.
Hey, yeah, I kind of get it. I just feel like it felt like he does it. I don't know what it really does, because it's not like Jerry Lawler wasn't going to be in the match, was he? It's not like he was trying to get out of it or anything.
No, well, the whole thing was Lawler was trying to. I'll only fight you after you fight Hakushi. I'll only fight you after you do that. Like, he was trying to do everything he could to get out of it, and then Bret feels like he finally got him.
I always like this feud.
Nobody
good
says
for each
back
other.
body drop quite like Vince McMahon.
Back body drop.
So they're giving away the hype after this match.
Hebner.
Oh,
I miss pile drivers.
Is he gonna no sell it? Hey, look, it's Lawler's hot mom with their
Lawler for
titties
president.
jiggling.
To be fair, we could do a lot worse than Jerry Lawler.
Oh, we could, but we are doing worse than Jerry Lawler.
To be fair, with like considering Lawler's like litany of commentary and stuff like that, he'd actually quite fit in with the current cabinet.
I see your pile driver and I raise you.
I'm surprised, like I assume like probably the Cornettes of this period would probably say, "Oh, you hit a pile driver and you're not even going for a cover. God, what is wrestling coming to these days?"
For all we know, that could be Bret's wife.
I don't know who that woman is. I'm trying to find out information on that now because I'm like curious if she ended up being anything like, an actress or
I'll
something
go
like
to the
that.
Observer real quick.
I imagine she ended up being the Mrs. Lawler for the night.
Maybe.
Lawler just says, Meltzer just says he showed up with a hot-looking model young enough to be his granddaughter.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say like that badly, but
he actually, it's funny that you say that because he actually goes, "Okay, daughter." Like,
the fact that he's self-editing himself, it's like what he does in his actual shows.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's interfering in this match as well. Your match is done.
But we have to get Bret Hart. He has to lose. Oh shit! Earl Hebner. Look at that. That's pretty good, actually. Good work by Earl. Bret, you can clearly see Earl's foot.
Different look for Hakushi.
Yeah, he put the jacket back on.
He's clearly just got out of the shower with that cap on.
I like that they're actually preventing Bret from moving, like.
To be fair, Earl's doing a pretty good job of like pretending that he couldn't see that thing, even though he clearly got thrown into the ring far earlier than he should have done.
Look at Mama Lawler. Shinja. Yeah, that's a name that if you were to tell me, like, name a bunch of characters and you just popped up with this guy, I'd be like, I could not tell you.
But Bret still has to come away successfully.
Yeah, that's how you build a strong babyface.
How come I suppose?
I feel comfortable saying this is the end of Shinja.
Lawler being held down by his mom. I mean, that lady.
I don't understand that. If I can give this era anything in particular, it's they fall out of the ring really well. People just fall out of the ring just like with no hesitation whatsoever.
It's about to paint WCW into the air.
You see him a lot angrier in a couple of years. All things considered, this show has gone by pretty quickly.
Hang on, I need to listen to this Sid promo, whatever it is.
Time's run out for you. Weird angle.
Oh my god, he's talking too much now. You know that he's losing this thread a little bit. God, this cameraman is not social distancing at all. And he's clearly standing on one of those machines which like shakes your body around a little bit, like.
fun fact, this was the show that earlier in the night, JR tries to interview him, and at the end of doing the whole, "We're live, pal."
This is the event?
Yeah.
So let's cut that out.
No, it's in the pre-show, which we don't get on the network.
Oh, okay.
That's a shame because that's such a good moment.
If we weren't doing this for Fannounce Table purposes, I'd be like, okay, we can skip this part.
Right. What a weird gimmick to do, though.
Well, it's in your house. Give away a house.
Yeah, it's like the early stage of McMahon's Millions.
Still just so, like, I don't understand these types of gimmicks. Guaranteed, if I ever became a part of, like, the writing
the
team...
houses still look generally like they're still building the same kinds of houses. Not a lot of improvements since '95.
I feel sorry for all the people that are like right at the bottom of this pile because there's no chance of their getting
There's
picked.
no way. He got a rake. He found some rakes in the garage.
God, this is terrible.
Jesus Christ.
God, this is like I'm dying of cringe right here.
This is awful.
So bad. Oh my god.
But at least with the McMahon's Millions, you got the funny moments where he couldn't where he tried to call someone and they didn't pick up. That was like some amusement.
We might get that here. This poor guy's been standing there the whole time.
She's that lady on the right definitely does not want to be there.
She's intimidated.
That guy's voice cracked so bad that it made McMahon laugh.
Oh my god.
This is so exciting, Todd.
And then Todd dials it wrong, I believe.
I wonder if this woman had a job at, like, one of those, like, home shopping network type things. She seems like that.
Let's find out.
Oh god. God, crazy things happen. Only live in the WWF.
And Vince is loving it because he's like, fuck you. It's a train wreck.
The show was only meant to go an hour and a half, and then this segment just dragged.
It's very creepy.
Oh god.
Who do you think this guy was? Like, you think he was just like a lawyer for them or something?
Funny enough, it was Rod McMahon, Vince's brother, that picked it up. I wonder if whoever did win this is still like living there.
I highly, 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 highly doubt it. They probably never moved a single box into that.
It's in Orlando, isn't it, Florida? Maybe it's the site of the performance center.
Meltzer says this segment, the only thing not staged on the show, was probably the best part of the entire show.
What?
Just a note from someone with experience in house giveaways. In the vast majority of cases where houses are given away, the new owner winds up selling the given away house within 6 months because of the tax bill.
Yeah, that's always the thing they never tell you about when you're like, oh god, you get to win a car or you get to win a house or anything like that. It's like, wow, you've won it. Now you have to like run it and like, look after all the living expenses and all that other stuff.
I mean, theoretically speaking, they just called somebody from Nevada, I think they said, right?
And like, according to Meltzer, it's actually the guy's son in 6th grade that won the house.
Maybe like, yeah, do you want to pack up and move your family from Nevada to Florida? No.
Well, then you should enter a competition to win a house then.
Yeah.
No, because then, if you can sell the house and make the money off of it. You gotta
Yeah,
imagine the property taxes you pay in the time frame of that. You probably make so much more by selling the house, especially
oh
because
yeah,
you can sell it
absolutely.
at that point as being like the in your house thing. Like,
I'm actually like, there's no way to see, but I would like to know who's living there now, and if it's by chance still that person.
and then you figure too, you could rent the house if you own it. Just be like, all right, I'm gonna rent this out to anybody, and be like, hey, do you want to live in the WWF in your house thing? Unless there's some kind of clause or something that like you can't do that. But then again, I don't know how this shit
Well,
works.
they're probably, airtight shit like that.
Not like I'm
All
gonna
right,
own
now
any
here's
house.
here's the greatest wrestling match ever about to occur in front of our faces.
So
You mean
so
the
this is
greatest
the
wrestling match
competition
ever
that
until Edge and Randy Orton have it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, this is their competition.
Yes,
To be
they're
honest,
they're going way too hard on that.
it would be hugely disappointing if Edge and Randy Orton was worse than this Sid and Diesel match that's got to take place.
Hey, this might be a barn burner. I don't remember. I highly doubt
I
it.
can. One thing I'm sure it's not is a barn burner.
Well, they gave away a house. Maybe they burn a barn in the middle of this thing. Too.
I'm sure it's not going to be a barn burner, but there's got to be a lot of hot beef in this match.
You know what sucks is they never let DiBiase get anywhere near the WWF title, because as soon as he left, didn't they give the belt to Sid? Like,
Sid didn't win it until late '96, so it's still ways away from him at this point.
I'm glad Sid was champion at some point, though. I mean, he won it twice, but
Sid is pretty good, all things considered.
That's a bit of a stretch. I find Sid amusing as an attraction.
I feel like anybody who does a big enough job to like etch themselves into history is at least within the discussion of like potentially should have been champion or something like that. Maybe not necessarily always the world champion, but
We kind of etched himself in history by etching himself into Arn Anderson's stomach at one point.
hot take.
Callum with the.
Well, I'm
the
just
hot
telling the actual
take.
facts, essentially.
I know.
Wow, hot takes. Sid Vicious stabbed Arn Anderson with a pair of scissors.
Look at the ramp, just circles.
I think that's a leftover from Sid's entrance, actually.
What is this whole thing about? Ugh.
It's like he reminds me of this sort of look, like a taller and big Hangman Page.
Yeah.
With that sort of hairstyle and the tassels and stuff. Big D. Fuck.
Gotta get the big D.
You think Nash had anything to do with that branding?
It's the big D with a fake name.
Oh, he did that before Brock Lesnar.
That dude in the crowd standing up again. Oh, you can see the next to the guy in the crowd. Maybe if they show it again, there's a person with another side. Look at his sign. He clearly tried it on that
Yeah, why
side.
is he holding it up with the belt?
But he clearly tried to do his sign that way and fucked it all up and then scribbled all over it.
Went on the other
That was
side.
his first attempt. Probably just like, let's go, Diesel.
It's all downhill from here, boys.
Just ran up and just stood still for a second so Nash could stop it. Oh my god, that is such a terrible Irish whip. Because by the time Sid's getting there, he's basically just walking backwards into the course.
So if we were doing a tier list of 1995 guys, where would you rank these two?
Kayfabe or
Are we
Just
talking wrestling
like-
a bit? Like look and
Yeah, just like worker ability. I guess that's what we're doing the other one on, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, if it's like on look or like star power and stuff like that, they're probably pretty high up there. If it's wrestling ability, then
then
I
you're
mean-
very, very top, right?
I mean, it's one of those rare instances where like Nash would be on the higher level than somebody.
That's fair. Maybe like a F for Sid, D for Nash.
Yeah, like he's already done like a dive from the apron to the floor, so he's already got his working boots on tonight.
Yeah, he's actually left his feet quite a few times.
It's one of those instances where he's kind of, to be fair, they're pretty similar in size, but he's like, where he's just not the much bigger man in a match. So he
Maybe
has to-
Nash is excited here to show that he can be the worker in a match.
Hmm.
I mean, that should be excited. Like both his knees haven't been destroyed yet, so he must be getting the best.
Well,
out of
actually, I
them while he
think
still
he
can.
got into wrestling because one of his knees got destroyed. So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
already working on some damage.
Oh yeah, I mean, like they haven't been destroyed in the ring yet.
Who do you consider Nash's best opponent?
Bret.
Brett's high up there. I mean, he had a good match with Michaels. It's kind of really those two really, because I can't really remember anything in WCW that really stood out to me that Nash
No.
did.
Or he
That's
just
nothing
does a lot
from
of
his-
tag stuff.
Yeah. And nothing from his later WWE run, because he basically just wrestled. The only time that he was really wrestling long term in that point was wrestling Triple H.
Yeah. And that wasn't anything to be like super great about.
No.
I think
so
he could have
Yeah.
worked with a lot of other people if, you do the whole like pick people from their prime and pair them up in different eras and stuff like that. I think that he could have worked pretty well with a couple other people.
I think he'd work better nowadays, like a big guy that other like smaller, really good workers could have a good match around. Like
Yeah.
I think if he had been able to, like his body was working properly, he could have had a good match with CM Punk.
I think he could
Yeah.
have worked well with Triple H even. Like just if it would have been different circumstances.
I think their 03 matches were pretty good by Nash standards.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, just like the 03 Triple H era is just so tainted with just mediocreness to me that I can't really say that was particularly good.
I'm sure Calvin
yeah,
would love to see Kevin Nash versus Randy Orton.
Greatest match ever before the Edge thing turned up.
They could probably kill for a Sid or a Nash or somebody these days.
I mean, if you want to have, they have Nia Jax, just somebody who's like just dangerous and sloppy in the
They've
ring.
got Corbin as a guy who's got size. He's just, I don't know. Corbin's a little too goofy. Like I couldn't buy him standing toe to toe with one of these guys.
That's saying something when Sid is in a match and you're calling Corbin goofy.
I think so, but am I wrong? The
I mean-
King Corbin stuff it's a little cheesy. Like they've grown to like Corbin in these dumb roles.
I think people like to think that Corbin has the level of charisma that someone like Sid had. It's not like Sid cut. I think Corbin is a better promo than Sid is, but Sid was more charismatic than Corbin.
Yeah. Sid was better at being a big guy, I think.
I'm really getting put off by those Irish whips to the corner, because he's not being whipped into the corner. He's turning around halfway through the whip and just running into his back first into the corner. I think one of the descriptions I heard of Sid was when like Brian Alvarez was doing a review of one of the shows that he was on, and he talks about the fact that Sid is the ultimate pro wrestler, and everything he does looks fake. But
That's good.
he's like, but it just works for him, and like there's very few people that could wrestle the style that Sid does, and can get away with it really. But because Sid was so like larger than life and so over the top in his mannerisms, it just worked for him.
This dude's selling leftovers at the end of the night.
It looks like he's selling drinks or something.
They're still trying to hand out the rest of those Bret Hart t-shirts.
Well, they handed out some hats. I see a lot of people wearing blue WWF hats now.
Speaking of t-shirts, I haven't done any plugs. If you want to pick up a t-shirt from Smark Moment, check out TeePublic and Redbubble. They're the merchandise options that you got. Lots of different designs, lots of different products. Check it out for Smark Moment, Fanboys Anonymous, and a Mango Tease. Sid's bleeding from his lip right now. Speaking of that, all that stuff, I might as well get a couple other plugs out of the way. There's the Patreon. If you want us to do more things like this, watch some other In Your House events or something like that, or do any other kinds of articles, or just do more dark casts, or just to help out a little bit, keep the lights on and donate $1 or anything else that you've got as far as your spare change that you are willing to toss our way, all that's greatly appreciated. And the Patreon has the different tiers, like the Pick Your Poison tier, where you can make sure that we do anything in particular that you'd like us to do on a podcast or an article side of things. And mailbag priority. Mailbag's coming up in a couple weeks or so, I think. July something or other. So about like 6-7 weeks or so from now. But if you want to get some mailbag questions in before we do the Q3 mailbag, then mailbag priority is the way to do that. And same things apply to Fanboys Anonymous. Donate to the Patreon for that. Help that website grow a little bit. If you don't know what that is, check it out. It's a geek culture website. It's the sister site for Smark Moment, where you find movie reviews and anything else like that. So if you show love for Smark Moment, you want to show some love for Fanboys, follow that stuff over there. YouTube, the podcast stuff, Facebook, Twitter. All that
I'm
stuff
impressed
going
that you got all those plugs in during a Sid camel clutch.
on.
How long that camel clutch lasted.
I always with that. It's just like it's so obvious they were just trying to make Diesel the next Hulk Hogan. I even put okay, so let's put the Iron Cheeks finishing move on him for a while.
Lackadaisical.
I think it's fair. Like they still thought that was a successful business model because that was the only model they'd ever had success with.
Yeah, one big person.
The crowd is getting behind Diesel anyway, so it's like I'm not saying that Diesel was like completely unpopular. Just like the numbers always just point towards the fact that.
But I don't think it's because Diesel was a failure. I think Tony went through the roster. I mean, it wasn't like they had a lot of people, and the people they did have were all on the same side. They were all baby faces, so you weren't getting a lot of matches.
Yeah, it was a mixture of that, and it's just the fact that it was still too cartoony.
Man Mountain Rock, man,
and uncool, really.
It's kind of questionable that they didn't put the title on The Undertaker.
Because he didn't need the belt. He was still like the Andre, kind of, where
yeah, that
he's
kind of
an attraction.
Yeah, he's the freak of the week guy. The guy that does the secondary feud on every single show that doesn't need to have the belt.
I missed this.
Yeah, it's so cheesy, but it works.
Yeah, they should do more of it, really.
Look, he looks like he's wearing lipstick, doesn't he?
Yeah, that face is great.
You know, you can call it whatever you want, but the people are actually buying this shit.
No, it is ridiculously corny and over the top, but that just worked for Sid. Oh my god!
And Sid injures his elbow. There we go.
That's an injury.
Did he actually injure himself with that?
He injured Nash's elbow.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say because that's the worst chokeslam I've seen since I saw that Hogan Undertaker one from Judgment Day 2002.
Yeah, that's a really bad chokeslam.
Which
I wouldn't have seen it. It was it was Hogan against Undertaker for the Undisputed Championship at Judgment Day 2002, and he gets Hogan about 3 inches off the ground with a chokeslam.
No, I mean which injury for Nash right now?
It was his elbow.
Injured. Yeah, which elbow?
I believe it was the one with the tape on it.
He's not doing the whole checking his elbow and stuff like that. So I'm kind of curious.
But he's like made of glass. Like he gets injured he was just so prone to getting
He
injured.
got injured running, like running to make a tag. He got injured.
Oh my
fair.
god!
I mean,
Like,
look at Sami
They're
Zayn.
not. Hold on, they're not actually doing this spot, are they?
It's
he
so
holding up?
transparent.
That's a better Irish whip, though.
Oh, Nash was fine with the Irish whips. It's Sid doing the Irish whip. Whenever Sid runs to the corner, that's the
Big
Gotta
boot.
do the leg drop.
Oh my god, it's the
Tatanka.
Tonka. And that's a great way to win your first pay-per-view of a new series. A DQ
DQ.
finish in the main event.
Hate DQs.
I hate DQ so much.
It's not even like you could be like, nowadays all they can do is do DQs because they've always done these kind of things back then.
That was just so
It's
unbelievably
Tonka literally just had to yell at Sid to get up.
Well, yeah, but it was just so unbelievably transparent. Like they even did like you shouldn't do a big boot into a jackknife powerbomb, and yet they decided to do that because that's what Hogan would do.
The Ragman live on 93Q.
Q, yeah.
I wonder if the Ragman's still doing his radio show. You're
I
listening to
wonder
the
who's coming out
Ragman.
to say. Oh, it's
Bam
Bigelow.
Bam's coming to the save.
I assumed it would be assumed it was Michaels.
Nope, these four are gonna have a tag team match at the King of the Ring.
Oh yeah.
I'm never used to Bam Bam as a babyface.
Because he shouldn't be.
No, he
And this is
shouldn't.
when, and this was soon after he got kicked out of the Millionaires Club, right?
Yep.
This is post Mania where he loses to Lawrence Taylor and all that.
So Michaels doesn't come back. He's still on vacation. You know.
I love how people are like, "Oh yeah, he's still the yeah, of course he fucking is."
He didn't lose.
Like he didn't come anywhere close to losing right then. There was no pin or anything.
No, well, no, he was about to win quite clearly.
And it's like, and still, oh yeah, wow, he is still champion. Like, imagine if them being like, and new, and be like, what? Diesel wins by DQ and loses the title.
I bet those two lawyers, if they really were lawyers, were very happy to be able to go into the back and sit down or just leave the building.
Check out catering.
Sean's Revenge.
Diesel. That's corny.
What's cornier, that or Bret?
Well, okay, then that's the kind of cheese that's just good cheese.
Like
that's Ramon cheese right there.
That's right.
And then we get some more pyro.
Yep, more money going up the Carsey there.
Man, I should have gone to that. Day after my birthday, Philly.
You missed Mabel being crowned King of the Ring live.
Yeah, it seems like that's right up your alley, Tony.
I'm sure back then, the little version of me was probably like fucking hated the idea, like, oh, boo, Mabel, you jerk, you used to be a good guy, like that kind of thing. What the fuck is this?
What the hell?
What?
Oh my god, is Adam Bomb coming out again? This isn't a new guy debuting, right? This isn't Max Moon, is it?
Hold on.
What?
So
saving the world?
What?
What the fuck was that? Why did that end it? What? That's the most
that had to be a mistake. That had to be like, let's run the King of the Ring out again. And they ran that shit instead.
So their marketing gimmick at the time was that they were saving the planet from alien invasion.
Oh my god!
What the fuck was that?
We don't get pre-shows on the network, but we got that added in there. I'm so glad that they did, though. That's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, to be fair, it's a good ploy. It's like, so you're meant to be saving the world, but do you see any aliens around here? I don't see any aliens around here.
I like that they're like, well, the environment's being destroyed and all this, but they have the WWF. Let's not destroy their planet.
Wow. Oh man, that's a great way to end this too.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed it. Obviously, if you followed along with this, I don't know how you didn't enjoy at least part of it. um, yeah, tell us what you thought. Tell us what you thought about our podcast. I'm always curious to know what people really enjoy about the Fannounce tables the most. If they really like it when we get like deeper dives into like pro wrestling history, or if they like it more when we're just sort of goofing around a little bit. Because we can do both. I mean, it's the type of thing where sometimes it's like, wow, let's watch this really serious thing and let's get into like, this is a different era of this and that. And sometimes it's like, what's up with these aliens? Just sort of, you know. Thumbs
Oh,
up
that's
as far
my
as I'm concerned. This is a
that was
great trip
fun.
down a memory lane. I mean, obviously, this is not like some pay-per-view of the year type thing, but this is fun to look back on. I enjoyed it.
Hey, those last few minutes just made up for the entire rest of the show. So yeah, thumbs up.
If you enjoyed
Yeah,
this a lot and you really want to see some more stuff, check out some previous editions that we've done. Check out the fan tracks as well on Fanboys, by the way. And again, if you want us to do
in
more,
your house, but it was fine for what it was, and a lot of fun looking back on it.
if you want us to do more of these, I don't know when we would get a chance to, but at some point down the line, if you do, if you donate to the Patreon in particular, do the Pick Your Poison tier, maybe we'll watch In Your House #2 or something like that, or another In Your House if it's like, a particularly good or bad one, especially if it's a really bad one. Um, I did most of my plugs, though. I'm going to give these guys a chance to plug some of their stuff, get that out there for you guys to follow. Callum?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Wigmeister14. Check out all the articles on smarkandmoment.com, including the weekly stuff, like the power rankings, which is my contribution, but Women's Wrestling Weekly and the Battle of the Brands and all the other great stuff we've got on there. And hopefully sometime next month, June, if you're listening to this already in June, we'll have something else to plug as well, but stay tuned for that. Rob?
Yeah, and for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DudeFelice. You can check out WrestleZone.com and Fightful.com because those are the other two sites I contribute to. And yeah, just keep supporting Smark Out Moment and everything we do. Tony?
Alrighty, everybody. I did most of the stuff already, but just a recap of some other things coming up in the future. We got the hot tags as the next thing that we're doing. We're going to try to do a dark cast at some point. That'll be on the Patreon. That's a exclusive thing just for that. We're going to do that in sometime. I'm not entirely sure over the next couple of days, hopefully. And then after the hot tags, we're going to get into next week's stuff where we're going to do the predictions for NXT TakeOver In Your House. And then next set of hot tags. And then after that, we're going to do the actual pay-per-view post show of the next In Your House. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff. Then we're going to get into Backlash. And then we're going to start to get into a couple weeks where we're not entirely sure exactly what we're going to do. It's going to depend a little bit on whether they announce anything with like Fyter Fest coming up anytime soon or, anything along those lines. And there's a lot of room for some different things that we can do. And one of them is going to be the tier list that you guys have been requesting. We're going to try to do that maybe the week after Backlash or so. So stay tuned for that. Eventually, we're going to get into the mailbag. And then we're going to roll along with the rest of the pay-per-views and the rest of the stuff from June and July and all that, including potentially even starting the Sexiest Superstars tournament at some point in the next couple weeks or so. And that's not going to be on the YouTube channel. It's something that doesn't really fly nowadays with the algorithm and the monetization policies anymore and stuff like that, but it might be Patreon exclusive, or it might just be something that happens up on the website. So anybody who's wondering when that's going to get started, we'll get you some more information when we can figure it out. But at least for now, that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as we did, and we'll see you next time. But for now, this has been another Smark Out moment, and we're being counted out.